Hello, Maverick Traders. This is Rob Ryan. What it is Tuesday, November 4th. We had a lot going on today, so let's jump into it. In this session, we're going to talk about those news events. We're going to look at the markets. We're going to break everything down, and we're going to score everything from a +3 to a -3, and that tells us where to go look for our trading opportunities.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, so the market had a big down day, but let's go through some of the news of the day. We did get a central bank announcement over the last 24 hours. The RBA kept rates steady at 3.6%, and they were mildly dovish. I think the market thought they were going to be more neutral. They were mildly dovish. The Aussie went down, but it's hard to tell whether the Aussie went down because of the RBA or was it just a risk-off trade with the rest of the market. We also got employment report from New Zealand. It was weaker than expected. The Kiwi was the worst currency today, so I got hit with bad economic news and a risk-off market. Definitely not a good place for the Kiwi. Bitcoin and all the other cryptos, they've been weak. I've been talking about how weak they are, how when the markets bounce up, these things don't bounce. I said I am not interested in them. They toppled today. As a basket, they were down like 8%. Ethereum down over 10%. Just was not a good place to be. And then the equity markets that have been the place to be, that's been one of the last bastions of this bull market. Well, we got Palantir earnings last night after the bell. They were spectacular, but here's the problem. These companies are priced to not just perfection, but past perfection. So if any little number is a little bit wrong, they have to get repriced and people go in and sell. And we've had this little bit of weakness in the Mag 7, and it definitely came apart today. I mean, take a look at this heat map. You can see that outside of, tech and a little bit of communication services, the rest of the market looked pretty good. But boy, it really was a big sell-off in those Mag 7 names. So big sell-off in equities, big sell-off across the world means that we're going to most likely get a risk-off move, and that's exactly what we got. Now, I want everyone to pay attention here because over the past probably 6 months, the euro and the Swiss franc have been the best performing currencies when the market went down. Take a look at what it was today. It was the yen and the dollar. We liked the dollar long this week. It was one of our favorite. I actually think that was our number one trade this week. But we also liked yen on the short side. You can see that yen will respond if the equity markets tumble. It will go higher. So yen on down days is not a good short. We only want to be short yen on risk on days. And frankly, I don't think there's going to be a lot of those coming up here in the next couple of days. We like the pound short. That was our favorite short. You can see the pound continues to stay weak. We like the CAD long. The CAD is working. Now, what I mean by working is that the market tumbled today. And typically you see Aussie, Kiwi, and CAD all down. You can see the CAD buck the trend. The correlation with the US dollar is helping the CAD. So I really like the CAD on a risk-on move. I think the CAD is working well. It's holding up when the markets are falling down. We'll have to see what happens when and if these markets have a bounce. So a classic risk-off move across the board. S&P down 1.7%. Take a look at that big crypto, 8.4%. Gold, oil, everything down. And you can see Ethereum was the worst of the bunch. We've been talking about how much Ethereum has been underperforming. This is what underperforming currencies do. They fall more than the market when they're selling, and they bounce less than the market when there's buying. That's where you want to be short. You want to be short on those kind of names. So technically speaking, did anything change this week in the S&P? I talked over the weekend about how these candles looked very weak. Gap ups and sells, gap down, sells, gap up, sells, very weak. I said, I think we make it down to support. Okay, here we are. We're right there. Is this support going to hold? Guess what? I don't know. No one knows. We're going to have to just wait and see. But this is the first place where there should be buying coming into this market after this pullback. The problem is there wasn't any buying at the close of the day. We now have AMD earnings after the bell. They're down substantially. I don't think we're going to get it unless there is a big spike down tomorrow, and then we go back up, and then we get something like a hammer candle. If we can get a hammer candle tomorrow, or we gap down and we actually have a higher close, I will go ahead and say that, okay, support held. And we can take a look at possibly a risk-on move after that. If it breaks and does not recover, then I think the next place we're going is the 50-day moving average, right around 66.50, 66.60. That's going to be the next level of support, and it's going to be the same thing. If it can hit that level, bounce off it, give us a hammer candle, give us a doji candle, give us something that shows us that the buyers are coming in to where we can rebound. If that doesn't happen, then all of a sudden, this bullish market has some serious issues with it, and we're most likely going to be in a bearish market. But as of right now, it is still technically a +3 market. It's above the 20, it's above the 50. The 20-50 are sloping higher. So we have to consider, we just have to go into this thinking it's going to bounce. Now look, I don't know if it's going to bounce. But let me tell you what I've learned in my 28 years of doing this. When there's a strong trend in play and there's a nasty pullback that makes everyone scared, buy it. Most of the time, you'll be very happy. There will be a few times that you're unhappy, but then you can go cry in all your bags of money that you made the last 8 times you bought this pullback when people were scared. Look, this could be the one that topples. I have no idea. But you could have done the same thing. 1 month ago, you could have bought this. Remember how nasty this day and how scary this day was? You could have bought that. And look at this wonderful run that you would have had. I'm not saying that it's going to happen this time, but what I'm saying is if you buy all the pullbacks in a bull market, you're going to be really, really happy in your lifetime as a trader. Same thing with bear markets. When it's a bear market and there's a rally and you sell them, you're going to be happy on that as well. Let's take a look at our calendar here. I want to point out tomorrow morning employment change with ADP. This is a private company, so the government isn't releasing any data, but the private companies are. And they're looking for about, the last estimate I saw was 30,000 jobs. This one's saying 50,000 jobs. This is our Friday payroll report. Since we don't have the payroll report on Friday, since the government shut down, this is the one. So I expect dollar pairs to be very active tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time. If you are in trades, you definitely want to be watching that and having your protection for that. Let's go take a look at some charts. Let's go ahead and just start with yen here. This is yen on a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, I've got our parabolic SOARS, I got a 13 EMA, and I've got an RSI line. Again, we're using these as a way to judge bullishness or bearishness and momentum. And you can see that on this entire way down in yen, we had falling RSI, falling moving averages, falling parabolic SOARS, and then we had little bounces in here. These are little bounces. RSI got up to about 50 and then fell back down. Take a look at how different this one is. We have this bottom here. Now we've got this 13 EMA turning up. We got RSI that's now up above 70. I'm not saying that this is a reversal pattern, but guess what? It's got all of the ingredients of a reversal pattern. Is it going to actually strengthen from here and start to move higher? Well, that's what charting says. Does it happen 100% of the time? No, that's not what charting says. But right here, I think you can take a look at yen and say, hey, I don't really want to short it. I don't want to short it anymore. I wanted to be short this whole time. I do not want to be short it anymore. We just made a new swing high. We're getting high basing price action. No thanks. So for me, yen is long only. Dollar is clear long only. I mean, look at this trend here. Everything's trending. And this is where people say, oh, but it's gone so far. You could have said that 8 hours ago. You could have said that 12 hours ago. You could have said that 24 hours ago. It's still going. At this point, this is where the momentum and the money is going. So dollar looks fantastic. Swiss franc, look at it. It was selling off. And now with this big risk off move, what did it do? Did it go up like the yen? Remember, the yen jumped on this. Swiss franc just sat there. So I do not like Swiss franc at all as a risk off currency. And to be honest with you, if we go back to a bounce, I want to be short Swiss franc. Euro, really not showing us anything, any big trend one way or the other. So I'm very uninterested in euro. All right, pound. Pound has been weak. We've been short pound, and you can see everything falling, everything weak. We rallied up to this 50 on the RSI, and then we tumbled right back down. Here we are. We're trying to find some support. Trying to find support here on the pound basket. Will we find support? Maybe, maybe not. Here's what I know. When things are downtrending and they do this kind of price action, this is a low base. And what happens to low bases? They typically break lower. So I like pound, but I understand we're right at support here. I would love to get a couple candles, bounce up in here, and then be able to take a short on it. To me, pound looks great, just waiting for timing. CAD is sideways at the moment, so there's no reason at all to be long CAD right now. But this is a high base pattern, waiting for it to break out to the upside. That's why I said CAD's still working. The market tanked, currency sold off, CAD held its ground. So next time there's a bounce, I'm really looking for CAD long. Not really excited about Aussie. Aussie's, -1, -2. But take a look at this Kiwi. This Kiwi is just in free fall. Same thing with the dollar. You could have said two days ago, hey, it's gone too far. It's too weak. It's gone. Yeah, at some point, yes, it has. But all the times you've looked at charts, if you just would have gotten short when you saw weakness, I'm telling you, you would have done much better than overthinking all these trades. Now, I don't even want to spend any time. I'll spend time on one crypto chart. But you can see it's not good. We just had a big expanded range candle. Is there probably a bounce coming? Probably. What do you want to do with that bounce? Buy it? Hell no. You do not want to buy these bounces. You want to let this thing stabilize, let this moving average start to turn higher, then maybe. But until then, absolutely not. Not interested. After all the scoring, this is our currency board, and you can see dollar, yen are the strongest right now, and pound and Kiwi are the weakest. So that is where we're going to be looking to pair things up. There could be some bounces in here, and I hope there's some bounces because there's going to be some great shorting opportunities on these. Okay, we've got two currencies that are strong, so we want to pair those up. And you can see that the dollar is stronger than the yen. The dollar's been stronger than the yen. Okay, maybe after the last 24 hours, the yen's been a little stronger. But to me, both are good. But I'm going to go with dollar long at first. We have two currencies we like on the short side, Kiwi versus the pound. So this is pound Kiwi. Pound Kiwi is rising, which tells us that Kiwi is the weakest. It is the weakest, which means we pair up our weakest currency against our strongest currency. That tells us this is where we want to be. This is where the momentum is. And you can see, look at these candles. These candles are just beautiful. Again, you're not getting stopped out. You're not getting stopped out on bounces. They're just falling, falling, falling. At this point, this is where I really like pyramiding, where you don't take a full position, you take a half a position. It's very hard sometimes as a trader to say, oh, I want to short here. I mean, you could have said that over here as well, and you probably said, oh, it's gone too far. And look at it. Look at it. It keeps going. These things keep going. The best way to trade these is to get into a teaser position, I call it. Hey, let me get in. Let me get in a third of the position. Let me get in half of the position. And then all of a sudden I'm in. Now I'm going to be benefiting from it if it just falls. If it bases, then I can be patient. And then when it breaks down, I can add the other half. If it bounces, I can grab the other half. This is where I really like to just get in with the teaser position, and then I can build a position over the next day or two around that. So this, to me, is my favorite one. Kiwi dollar. Just for fun, let's take a look at pound yen. It's going to be the same thing. Pound is weak, yen is strong. As you can see, we are getting some bottoming action. I would love to get a bounce up into this 250 to 201 area. That would just be a wonderful place to see it turn over and die, grab a short on it. But could you grab one here? Yeah, grab a half a position here. If it bounces up, grab the other half. You got a better price action or better price average. You can have a better stop. It's just a really nice way to trade strongly trending currencies. Let's wrap this up. We have rising volatility. I love rising volatility. Some traders like it, some traders don't. I get happy. I get excited. I'm like a moth to flame when it comes to volatility. Rising volatility, I am ready to go. I'm looking for more trades, not less. Some traders, their strategies are like, hey, high volatility is coming. This is not your scene. So if it's not your scene, you should be trading less. I like it. We are seeing clearly that the dollar and the yen are where the capital is going with a risk-off move. That's likely to continue. If the stock market keeps selling off, I think this is where you want to be. You want to be long dollar, long yen. And again, you could be short pound, you could be short Aussie, you could be short Kiwi. You could even be short Swiss franc and euro. I don't think they're as good of shorts, but you can still be short those. And I like the CAD. I explained the CAD is working well, meaning when the market's falling, the CAD's holding up. If there is a bounce in the markets, in equities, I do like CAD to the long side. I'll be looking to pair that against probably euro or Swiss franc since they have been underperforming. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.